Going live na po tayo. Di past ano na.
Yoo-hoo! Hello, ka-financialista! Good morning! Welcome to today's event entitled Empowering Edge of Learning Cryptocurrency. I am your host, China Ilabo.
And I am Christian Gio Sena, a stock trader and investor and one of the hosts in this forum.
You know, Christian, I woke up today feeling so excited, but a little bit nervous for this morning event. How about you?
Yes, I feel the excitement and the energy, but really grateful also to the management because it is an honor personally to be here to be part of this program.
Yes, let's feel the excitement and energy today. Okay, so Christian, before we formally start this event, here's the reminder for everyone regarding the proper decorum or guidelines that must be followed during the event. Okay, first, the less the noise, the better. To avoid annoying background noise, keep your audio muted. Try to not interrupt others who are speaking and also to avoid distracting other attendees. Always remember to be polite, do not interrupt. That is why always check your mute and unmute button. Also, another reminder to our fellow ka-financialista, don't forget to screenshot, and that screenshot will be proof that you attended our webinar, and also you will put that screenshot in the attendance form. Okay, and also please rename your names here in Zoom to our Zoom attendees to our Zoom with a format of section and first name. Okay, guys? That's a reminder. How about Christian when it comes to our Q&A? We also have a guidelines about this.
Yes, Miss Jeannie, first student must be attentive, especially when the discussion starts. Another thing, they supposed to take down notes, their insights and questions, because we will have a question and answer segment afterwards. The question should be related and relevant to be able to avoid redundant concerns. And you may raise your hand, guys, later if you are using Zoom meeting platform. And you may comment your insights and questions in the Facebook live stream. So I guess that's all for the guidelines. And to formally start the program, may I request everyone to be in silence, and we will now proceed to the doxology.
magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, luya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisingil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit ang mukha, ay nilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislang ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin na taro niyang kailan ang may magdidilig. Lupa ng araw ng wanay ating pagsinta, buhay ng isang piling mo, ang binigaya ng pag ay mamati, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Again, a warm welcome to our dear students, staffs, and stakeholders. I hope everyone is doing well and fine this morning. But before we proceed to the discussions, let me ask my partner first, to Miss Chini, what are your pre-insights or the things you are looking forward in this forum?
Okay, so before I start, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Miss Kay, Sir Ronald, and Sir Carl of AltSwitch, and to Sir Don Estocada, the department head of Sebea Entrep. Good morning. Okay, so let's go back to your question, Christian. For me, I'm looking forward to learn, of course, cryptocurrency. And to be honest, I'm familiar with that, but I'm not into it. Maybe because my knowledge about crypto is not enough. Also, I remember the day that we talked about crypto. You said that cryptocurrency is very volatile. That is why this program is very important, especially to us financial management students, who could become potential investors to one day. That's why I am very happy to be part of this special event. And this morning, Christian, the speaker that we have is totally amazing. I know that he prepared a lot of relatable topics to discuss with us, and I heard he will talk about the importance of understanding the cryptocurrency. That is why I can't wait to learn a lot of things today. How about you, Christian? What are you looking forward in this webinar as you teach crypto trading?
Well, you already mentioned that I mentor people about trading and investing, and I am into cryptocurrencies as well. And I anticipate that the discussions for today will be all about blockchain technology and how it works, how to put money on a digital wallet safely, and tokenomics, of course. Tokenomics basically means the economic environment of one's cryptocurrency or a token. So I think this will be a great venture for us to learn digital finance, or in other terms, financial technology or fintech. So that's all, Miss Jeannie.
Yes, Christian, I agree with that. This will be a great venue for us to learn. That's why, ka-financialista, it is most important to take notes. Write down whatever information is most useful to you. So take your notebook and your pen with you during this webinar and take this an opportunity to know the empowering edge of learning cryptocurrency. And to our viewers on FB Live, don't forget to like, share,
and follow the official Facebook page of Rizal Technological University, College of Business, Entrepreneurship and Accountancy, both campus, and the RTU-Junior Financial Executives.
Yes, and all right. I know all of us are excited to learn and to start this webinar. May we welcome the new Department Head of Financial Management Department, Professor Milka C. De La Fuente. Let us give her a warm virtual applause.
Honored guests, my dear beloved students, good morning. In the world of FM, you, me, and the professionals in this field will always face KPIs. These are what we call key performance indicators that guide us in making sound decisions. In a play of words, it could mean keep people informed, but my favorite one is keep people inspired. Some may look at our profession mundane because that's maybe how we make them see it. So from here on, I charge you, our students, with this challenge of doing simple things extraordinarily well. At the end of the day, it's not about how our field defines us, but how we make it to be. FM, together with the ever-changing landscape of technology, will continue to evolve. But the only constant thing that will remain will be your attitude towards this, if you don't start thinking about this today. So I tell you this now, and hopefully in the years to pass, you will remember this fondly, that you will be trailblazers in this career. If you follow these versions of KPI, keep people interested, share what you know, and most certainly, this will keep people informed. With this knowledge, people will understand what they can do and will most certainly offer what they can contribute. And this is how you keep people involved. Remember where we started. Keep people inspired. It's what I'm doing to you now. Go by your day and start appreciating our field. You are one of the gears that turn the world. Lastly, as educators of this institution, we help you lay on the foundations of your careers built on integrity and excellence. Right is right, even if no one is doing it. Wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it. I hope you will learn well in this webinar. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you to our head department, Ma'am Milka C. De La Fuente, for the opening remarks. Again, a pleasant morning, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's time to introduce our amazing guest speaker for today, because we will be learning a lot of valuable lessons and principles from him. He is the Chief Public Relations Officer and founding core member of AltSwitch. AltSwitch is a binary synchronous communications protocol formulated with revolutionary decentralized solutions for the blockchain industry. He obtained his bachelor's degree in hotel and restaurant management and worked for fine dining establishments during his career. In 2017, he discovered and invested in blockchain technology, made several successful projects that enhance his skills in public relation, and he continuously shared the financial literacy to people for us to have an awareness in the digital finance, to have knowledge and opportunities, and to avoid financial losses as well. Well, the long wait is over. Please welcome Mr. Nick Sonia. Let us give him a round of virtual applause.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening, Sir Nick. It's already night at your place, right?
It is, yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's 9:24 p.m. I'm exactly 12 hours ahead. Oh, actually, no, sorry, 12 hours behind where you are at. So yeah, it's nighttime here. It's daytime for y'all. But it's good to see everybody. Thank you for inviting me on this session. And so good morning, everybody. Magandang umaga, RTU. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Miss Shini. And thank you for the opening remarks, Professor Milka. I also want to thank Sir Ron and Sir Don Estocasa for giving us this amazing opportunity to speak to all of you. And as was already mentioned, my name is Nick Slajona, and I am the Chief Public Relations Officer for AltSwitch. And just so that you have at least a little bit of a background regarding AltSwitch, AltSwitch is a startup company, and we have some very ambitious goals that we are trying to achieve. I've been working with our CEO, Carl, and he'll be here in a few minutes, and also the rest of the AltSwitch team from the very beginning. We've been working together in the cryptocurrency space for a little bit over a year at this point, and we've been working on the AltSwitch project together on research and development since 2021. So we've traveled together many times to Dubai to attend different conferences and different meetings. And we currently have a core team of 8 people, and we come from a very diverse team. And I'm hoping that during this session, you'll be able to learn some of at least the basics of cryptocurrency, how it can be beneficial to all of you. And cryptocurrency is very quickly becoming the future of money. And that is why I think it's important to learn about it and how to manage it safely, and also to move it from place to place without running into any sort of issues or any sort of difficulties. And as you'll see, we will also have some fun activities during this session where you will have the chance to win some money. And if you do happen to win, we will send the prizes to you via Gcash or through your cryptocurrency wallet. And I think you guys will really enjoy learning about cryptocurrency and how it can potentially become very beneficial to all of you as financial students, as long as you go about it in a safe manner. And so that's a lot of what we will be talking about today. And so I'll try to share my screen, and then we can kind of get started here. Okay, is it okay if I screen share? I just don't want to stop the other persons if, you know. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I think you can all see the presentation. This is the first page of our slideshow. Give me a second, I have to move this Zoom window out of the way. All right, and so to get started, here's the word cryptocurrency, and also some words that relate to the word cryptocurrency. And so I'm curious what other words that a lot of you may have heard or come across that relates to the word cryptocurrency. And so if you don't mind, I'd love to see some of you type some of these words into the chat. So feel free to go ahead. If anything that comes to mind, anything relating to cryptocurrency whatsoever, you know, it can be something good, something positive relating to crypto, or even something bad. It doesn't matter so much. But I'd love to see what other people have heard about. But as you can see, some of the words that are listed here are positive, and some of the words are negative. So, for example, the words rug pull, Ponzi, scam, pump and dump, these are some of the more negative aspects of cryptocurrency, and these are things that you want to avoid, and these are some things that we'll talk about during this session. And at the same time, there are also some very positive aspects of cryptocurrency. For example, future money, decentralized, bullish, moon. So these are all some words within cryptocurrency that you will get more familiar with over time, and these are some of the more positive aspects. Okay, so let's get started with a little icebreaker. So guess the word challenge. All right, so I am going to show you a couple of pictures, and I want you to try to put them together and to form a word with the two pictures on the screen. So here we go. Okay, so try to put these two words together, and try and figure out what word these two pictures are trying to represent. And I don't know if it's possible, Miss Sheeny or Christian, if you can just record who the winner is, and you know, hopefully we can keep track of exactly who wins. But
Yes,
if you're able to put together the word, we will send you 100 pesos via GCash. And so it's going to be the fifth person to guess the word correctly will win 100 pesos via GCash. And so all you have to do is just wait for my signal. So don't go quite yet. Okay, so 1 second here. All right, so at my go signal. So on your marks, get set, go. Okay, so the fifth person. Let's see who we have. Okay, and unfortunately, I cannot see the chat while I am sharing screen. That's the only thing. So I don't know if anyone has won.
sir, no worries. We will take note of that.
Okay, okay, perfect. All right, thank you. Okay, and so okay, and so the word is Bitcoin. All right, so the fifth person to guess correctly has won 100 pesos, and it will be sent to you via GCash. All right. So congratulations to the winner. I'm not exactly sure who won, but but congratulations. And oh, okay, yeah, I see we have the winner. It's not a name, it's a string of numbers and letters, but congratulations anyways. Okay, let's go to the next section here. So, how did it all get started? That's the big question, is what exactly was the beginning of cryptocurrency, and how did it all begin? Because it has some very interesting beginnings. And so the Genesis blockchain is essentially where everything had got started. This is the very first block, or the very first piece of Bitcoin that was ever mined. And it started in 2009. It was first mined in 2009, and it is actually, there's a lot of mystery and a lot of controversy surrounding the Genesis block. For one thing, Satoshi Nakamoto is considered to be the creator of Bitcoin, and you can see his name mentioned down here. However, nobody knows exactly who he is or what he looks like. There's only speculation as to who he is. There's some theories that are out there. Some people claim to have identified him, and they claim to know exactly who he is, but still to this day, nobody really knows. And then, as you can see here on the slide, we also have a picture representation of the Genesis block of Bitcoin, and it is displayed in what's called hex format. And the Genesis block is the very first piece of Bitcoin ever to be mined or created. And even though it is a piece of Bitcoin, it also contains a tiny piece of text that's hidden within the code that references a newspaper article that was published in the Times of London in 2009. And so here you can see the code says, second bailout for the banks. So Chancellor on brink of second bailout for the banks. And then over on the left-hand side of the slide, you can see the exact newspaper article that the Genesis block is actually referring to. So it's kind of interesting. A hidden piece of code, a hidden message in the very first piece of Bitcoin ever to be mined, and it's referencing a very specific newspaper article. And so it makes me wonder, like, what do you guys all think about this? What was the reason for Satoshi Nakamoto to create Bitcoin? do you think that it's just because he wanted to? Maybe it was something of like a social experiment. Perhaps maybe it was a joke that went too far. I'm interested. I'm interested to see what everybody thinks about it, because there's a lot of theories out there. And based on this newspaper article, if I were to guess, I would say that Satoshi Nakamoto did not like the practice of rescuing banks from collapse. And so this was sort of a hint at what the actual purpose of Bitcoin was intended for. And so you can kind of extrapolate your own theories as to what the real purpose was. But just the fact that he references this newspaper article, it opens up quite an interesting story behind Bitcoin and its beginnings. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. So here you can see the growth of cryptocurrency adoption over time. And as you can see, the rate of cryptocurrency adoption is almost exponential. So starting around the year 2016, so only approximately 6 years ago, there were only approximately 5 million cryptocurrency users at the time. And so now when you fast forward to earlier this year, or the first quarter of this year, we've seen 300 million users by this point. So, and this number is actually expected to break 1 billion users by the end of this year. And so basically just, how many months do we have left in the year? I think 3 more months, and we will have 1 billion people that have at least interacted with cryptocurrency in some way or some form. So keep in mind also that the world population is currently 7.7 billion people. So that means that essentially 1/8 of the entire world will have used cryptocurrency at some point by the end of this year. And so that's quite a change from only 5 million people back in 2016. So 6 years later, we are almost at 1/8 of the entire world has used cryptocurrency. So it's the adoption of crypto is climbing very, very fast. And that's why I think it's very important to get educated on cryptocurrency, because it's becoming more and more prevalent in people's everyday lives. All right, so let's move to the next slide. And we have another Guess the Word challenge. So I want you all, this one's going to be a little bit more challenging, but I think it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult to figure out, but you put these few words together, and it could be a word, it could be a phrase, it could be something else, but I want you to be creative and try and guess exactly what this word is. And again, I'll give the go signal, and I want you to try and type out the word that these pictures represent. And this time we'll go with, let's say we'll go with the 6th person that is able to type the message to guess the word correctly. And again, 100 pesos will be sent to the winner via GCash. But wait for my signal. So on your marks, get set, go.
Okay, Sir Nick, the first winner earlier is Chloe from Sibea 701P.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
that's our
Congratulations,
first
Chloe.
winner. Okay, so the second winner, I'm looking into it now, sir. Okay, just give us a minute.
Okay, yeah. People are really good at this.
It's too fast. Yeah,
I know that.
It's really, it's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
fast.
It's fast, and I'm impressed. People are quite good. They're quite good at this word challenge. I feel like we got to make it more challenging. But this is good though. This is impressive. But okay, I will show the word. I think people kind of already know, but I'll show the word at this point. So the word is Satoshi Nakamoto. So it's not really a word, but it's a name. And again, Satoshi Nakamoto is somebody who you really want to be familiar with in terms of cryptocurrency, because he is the creator of Bitcoin. And so he is essentially the person that started off everything. And the other thing I probably should mention about him that's interesting is that he was, I mean, nobody even knows if he's still alive, but he is or he was considered to be a cryptographer. And so cryptography is the study of code and code breaking. And normally in the past, people studied cryptography in order to break, like different codes, hidden messages during wartime. If you're in war and one side is sending secret messages to the other, uh, cryptographers were used to break the codes and to try and figure out what the enemies were saying as a message. And so you fast forward to today, and people like Satoshi Nakamoto used cryptography to actually use it for digital currency, for the transfer of money, for the transfer of wealth. And so it's kind of interesting how the evolution of cryptography has changed over time, but now it's being put to something very, very useful that is beneficial to everybody. And the reason for the cryptography is also, again, it's because you're sending the cryptocurrency itself is essentially hidden messages that's sent from one location to the other, and it's deciphered. The hidden message is deciphered when it reaches the other side. So hopefully that makes sense. But anyways, all right, so let's go on to the next slide. And one of the things you might be wondering is, why is cryptocurrency adoption growing? And let's find out. So this is what people are currently experiencing when they adopt cryptocurrency into their business activities. So if you look at retail, for example, the retail industry has been able to benefit from having 40% new customers. And so this study that I came across doesn't say exactly why there are 40% new customers in retail that you can potentially obtain in retail. But I personally am thinking that it's because now you have opened up your business to more of a global market. You're able to send payments much easier than you could before. And so cryptocurrency really breaks down barriers, and it opens up new opportunities for people to send money from place to place easier and faster and cheaper. And so I think that's some of the reason why. And then you also have, in terms of retail, more transactions, you have a bigger return on investment. So it's very good on many different levels. And then in terms of remittance, the transactions can be vastly cheaper. So some studies have shown that the cost of remittance can be up to 127 times cheaper. And I always like to bring up the example of Visa or MasterCard. For example, if you use their services, you use a Visa, MasterCard, they charge the seller a fee. And so oftentimes the fee for using their service is around 3%. So if you buy a cup of coffee for $1, the seller of that coffee ends up having to pay 3 cents towards the purchase price, and that goes back to the credit card company or Visa and MasterCard. But with cryptocurrency, the fees are only a fraction of this. So, and that is because you have eliminated all the overhead that comes with a central entity providing their services. So let's take that same cup of coffee, for example. If you were to purchase that same cup of coffee with cryptocurrency, the fee would only be a small fraction of 1 penny, depending on the type of cryptocurrency that you use to pay for it. So instead of 3 cents, it would be something like 0.000003 cents, just for the transaction fee. And of course, it depends on the type of cryptocurrency that you're using. That's something I always have to stress because, for example, one of the popular cryptocurrencies right now for making payments is, well, of course, you have Bitcoin. Another cryptocurrency is Ethereum. These have very expensive transaction fees, but there are cryptocurrencies that have extremely cheap transaction fees. So like, for example, XRP, Stellar Lumens, Litecoin has very, very low fees. And those are cryptocurrencies that when you use them and you transfer value or money from one place to the other, the cost is only a fraction of a penny. So it's very, very, very beneficial to anyone who is using it for a business sense. And I don't know, I mean, quite honestly, I think that it almost has the credit card companies scared in a way, because suddenly all the fees that they've been collecting all these years, there's a cheaper, better alternative. And so I don't know, it kind of makes me wonder if they're a little bit worried about cryptocurrency adoption becoming too big too quickly. Anyways, all right, so moving on. So in terms of luxury, cryptocurrency can help prevent counterfeiting because the blockchain that it runs on is essentially impossible to alter. So you have NFTs, which can provide a level of exclusivity depending on what NFT that you own. Some of you have probably heard of like Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs, or punk NFTs, or CryptoPunk NFTs. Those are very exclusive, and some of them actually cost millions of dollars to own. And so if you own one of these NFTs, they're very exclusive, very hard to get your hands on, if you're able to purchase one at all. And so that's one of the nice things when it comes to luxury regarding cryptocurrency. And then in terms of gaming, gaming is a very important one because I think a lot of you have heard of the game Axie Infinity. And so this is the perfect example of cryptocurrency and gaming coming together. And we'll talk a little bit about Axie Infinity in a little bit also. All right, let's move on to the next slide. So now the question is, how does all of this work? And there's a simple answer to that. The answer is the blockchain. All of this works thanks to the blockchain. The blockchain is basically a decentralized ledger. And I'll try to explain what that means. And so decentralized meaning that nobody owns it. It's autonomous, it runs completely on its own. And the ledger is basically sort of like a digital spreadsheet that remains in the cloud, and it records all the transactions as they happen in real time. And then you have coins like, for example, Bitcoin, which I mentioned earlier, Ethereum I mentioned earlier. Solana is a really big coin that is available. And these coins have their own separate blockchains with their own separate ledgers that record transactions as they happen. So like Bitcoin, for example, does not share the same ledger with Ethereum. Ethereum doesn't share the same ledger with Bitcoin. They're separate. They're separate ledgers, separate entities, but they all work in the same principle where you're recording the transactions on ledgers or on spreadsheets that remain in the cloud. And then so underneath the coins, you have tokens. So the coins are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, for example, and under these coins, you have tokens. So an example of a token is Axie Infinity's token that is currently known as SLP, or SLP stands for Smooth Love Potion. So Axie Infinity and its currency SLP actually run on the Ethereum blockchain network. So therefore, Ethereum is the coin, so it's on top. It's the main blockchain. And then Axie Infinity is one of the tokens or project that runs on the Ethereum blockchain network. And Axie Infinity's SLP token is the name of the actual token on the Ethereum network. And that is the token. And then, so I hope that makes sense. I know it's a little bit confusing, but the more you get into it, the more you read about it, learn about it, it's actually quite easy to understand. But to summarize, a coin is considered a blockchain, and the token is a project that runs on that blockchain. So it's also interesting to note that Bitcoin is probably the only coin or the only blockchain that does not have projects that run underneath it. So there are no tokens that run on Bitcoin's blockchain. Like you won't have like a Smooth Love Potion token that runs on Bitcoin's blockchain. And there's many reasons for this. Mainly it's because Bitcoin's blockchain was created in such a way that it is really only suited for the transfer of a store of value from one place to another. And another thing about Bitcoin is that it's very slow. It can only process between 5 to 7 transactions per second, and it's slow. And so that's another big reason why other cryptocurrencies have been developed to improve upon what Bitcoin had first started. Like Ethereum, for example, Ethereum can do something like I think that they can do 15 transactions per second, but since they just upgraded their network, they're trying to get to the point that they can do 10,000 transactions per second. And if you can do that many transactions per second, then you can start building a very elaborate network that allows for smaller projects to run underneath. Like I say, like Axie Infinity can run underneath Ethereum's blockchain. Okay, so anyways, I hope that makes sense. I know it's a little confusing, but it's really not if you start doing a little bit of research and getting into it a little bit. But anyways, here are some samples. So these are samples or examples of ledgers or spreadsheets that I was mentioning earlier. So all the transactions that happen on these different blockchains are recorded and stored within these ledgers. And all these ledgers are available to view online. That's the important thing about them, is that all the transactions that happen on these different networks, you can view all the transactions online in real time. And so this allows for a level of transparency because you can follow a cryptocurrency transaction as it goes from point A to point B. And all you have to do is just go to one of these different websites and view all of the available information. And so like on this slide, you see BSC scan. That is those are the ledgers for the Binance network. Then you have over here on the right-hand side, the Ethereum Blockchain Explorer. Those are the ledgers for Ethereum's network. And then Polyscan is the ledgers that you can track and follow for Polygon. And so, yeah, I hope that makes sense. It's also pretty simple. It's basically the ledgers are available for anyone to view online. And then here is a sample or an example of one single transaction. And this, again, going back to BSC scan on the Binance network, this would be one transaction on their ledger. And so basically, if you look down, I don't know if you can see my mouse moving here, but if you can, down towards the bottom of this example, it shows that $32 worth of cryptocurrency had been transferred from one wallet to another wallet. And so that's essentially what this is showing. And then it has some very fine details included in the transaction. You don't really have to worry about those. Most of the time, people just kind of ignore those smaller transactions. They're just the finer details. But the important thing is usually people just look at the amount that was moved or the amount of cryptocurrency that had been exchanged and which wallet it came from and which wallet it's going to. So it's pretty simple, actually. Okay, and my next question is, who would want to see a visualization in real time of blockchain transactions as they're taking place on the blockchain? If anyone who wants to see in real time, I'd like to see you type the number 1 in the chat. And if you don't want to see, feel free to let me know if you don't want to see any transactions. Type number 2 in the chat. I won't be offended, don't worry. But I'm hoping to see a lot of 1s. I think it's kind of cool to see this visualized in real time. But yeah, okay, thanks. I see a lot of 1s. Somebody's got to type a 2. But anyways, all right. So let's check out these transactions in real time. I hope that I have this. Sometimes this gets a little bit screwy and doesn't really work, but okay, so this is the website. This is a great website to go to. I highly recommend people check this out because it's pretty cool. It's called txstreet.com, and it shows the transactions happening on the blockchain in real time for the Ethereum network and also for Bitcoin's network or for their blockchains. And so just give it a minute here to load up. I don't know why it's the website is actually very fast, but to initially get the live view of the blockchain running in real time, for some reason it always loads slowly. But yeah, hopefully it'll load up here. Perfect. Okay, so here we go. All right, and there we go. There you can see all of these people that you can see here. All of these people represent transactions that are happening on these blockchains. So here on the left-hand side, you have the Ethereum blockchain. Here on the right-hand side, you have Bitcoin's blockchain. And oh, this is a good thing to mention, actually. You know how I had mentioned that Ethereum has tokens that run underneath its blockchain, and Bitcoin does not. Bitcoin is only for transferring wealth from one place to another. So Bitcoin does not have tokens that run underneath. And so you see this on this screen, actually. So for Ethereum, on the left-hand side, you can see the tokens that run Ethereum's blockchain. Or sometimes it's not the tokens, but sometimes it's the different projects that run on the blockchain. But like, for example, you see, you can see Uniswap, they have their own token. Tether is a token that runs on the Ethereum network. I'm trying to think what these, oh yeah, you see Shibe is here. This one, I'm trying to remember the name of this one. Curve protocol. They also have their own, it's basically an exchange, actually, that runs on Ethereum's network. But anyways, so all of these people represent transactions. So you can see, for example, this T here, there's people that are leaving this T or Tether because these are Tether transactions, and then they move over here to the trains or to the cars that they can potentially get on to move the transaction to its destination, essentially. And the interesting thing about this is that for anyone here who's familiar with Ethereum's network, Ethereum has been historically, for the last few years, their network has been extremely congested. And you can kind of see that represented here, because you see there's a lot of people lining up to get on these different cars or these different trains to move their transaction to the next place. And the more money that you're willing to pay for the gas fees, because each time that you move the Ethereum from one location to the other, you have to pay a small amount of Ethereum as a gas fee. So it's essentially, it's like paying a fare when you ride a bus. You have to pay a fare, and the first car has to pay the biggest fare. So in this example, you see here it has to pay. Yep. Yeah, it's the amount of gwei that they're paying. Gwei is the it's basically the name of the gas fee that you have to pay on the Ethereum network. But anyways, going back to my original point, Ethereum's network is very congested. These are all transactions. If you scroll down, these are all transactions that are waiting in line to go through the Ethereum blockchain. That just goes to show how congested their network is at the moment. And but it's still the #2 cryptocurrency in terms of market cap. It's extremely popular for people to use. I think most of what's happening on the Ethereum network, and this is just my opinion, it's not really used so much to move store of value from one place to the other. It's really for like day traders, you know, trading all different tokens, different projects. But there's a lot of stuff you can do on Ethereum's network. But yeah, it is severely congested, as you can see. That's always been kind of a problem with it. But that's just an Ethereum thing. Most blockchains, most other projects are not like that. But anyways, all right. I think I've talked too much about this this slide here. I could talk all day about this one. Let's move on to something else. Okay. All right. So the next guess the word challenge. All right. So again, 100 pesos worth of 100 pesos sent to the winner via Gcash. And let's see here. When I give the go signal, let's make this one a little bit easier. Let's do the third person to guess the word correctly will receive 100 pesos via Gcash. And wait for my go signal. That's the only thing. And all right, on your marks, get set, go.
Okay, so sir, how about
Yes.
this time we will choose a winner to our FB Live. Don't worry, sir. We have a tech team or representative there, and you know,
Oh,
sir,
okay, yeah, that's
we
fine. Yeah.
have a total of 250 and counting viewers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, that's awesome.
Okay, so we
All
will
right, that's
choose a
exciting.
winner to our FB Live.
Okay, yeah, no worries, no worries. All right,
Okay.
let's move on. Let's keep going. That sounds good. That's a good solution, actually. Okay. All right, so the word is blockchain, by the way. For congratulations to whoever won, even though we're going to choose the winner a little bit later. But let's move on to the next slide here. Okay, so now the question is, what makes cryptocurrency advantageous? What makes it very useful for people in their everyday lives? And so here you can see, if you compare fiat and gold and you look at their positive and negative aspects, or their advantages and their disadvantages, with fiat, you can take it from place to place and you can spend it. But think, for example, what happens when you go to another country and you would like to spend your fiat, and you have to convert the money to a different currency. Then you have to convert it back when you come home. And oftentimes you might not get a good exchange rate, and there's fees that are incorporated with doing the exchange. And then when it comes to gold or other precious metals, they definitely have their advantages. That's the thing about them. But you cannot easily walk into, let's say, a mall or a grocery store and purchase items with gold or silver. It would be kind of difficult to do so. And so this is where cryptocurrency comes in to fill all the gaps. Cryptocurrency can easily do all the same things that fiat and gold can do, but it has additional advantages. All right, and then the next question is how to engage. And so this is the exciting part. So now if you're interested in getting more involved in cryptocurrency, you might be asking yourself, where do I start? And so that's some of what I will try to explain. All right, and so the answer is through exchanges. So when it comes to buying and selling or trading cryptocurrency, you have two main options. You can either use a centralized exchange or you can use a decentralized exchange. And a centralized exchange meaning that it is owned by a central entity or an authority, and decentralized meaning that nobody owns, nobody controls it. And so both of these have their positive and their negative aspects, but really at the end of the day, it's up to you which platform you want to use. And so me personally, I use both centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges, but I use them with the understanding that they do both have their positive and their negative aspects. But here are some examples of these types of exchanges. So centralized exchanges, you have Bitcoin traded. Oh, well, you have Bitcoin traded on Binance. You can trade Bitcoin on coins.ph, on PDAX, and also here are some examples of the biggest decentralized exchanges. So here you have PancakeSwap and Uniswap. And PancakeSwap is generally used for transactions that are on the Binance Smart Chain network. Uniswap is used for transactions that are on the Ethereum network, kind of like, hold on, I can show you again real quick. Like, just like with this example here, this symbol here, the horse symbol on the left-hand side, that's Uniswap. And so you see a lot of people making transactions from Uniswap, and they are getting on the car and yeah, moving their transaction to the next location. So yeah, so that's Uniswap. It runs on the Ethereum network, which is very congested. But let's see here. So for example, like I say, there's positive and there's negative aspects to these to centralized and decentralized exchanges. So for centralized exchanges, for example, what happens if you place all of your money onto a centralized exchange, such as like what's listed here, coins.ph? And let's say that suddenly the exchange goes bankrupt or the exchange gets hacked. And this happens. This has happened historically with some of these exchanges. They have gone out of business, and sometimes they do get hacked. One of the biggest examples was with Bitmart. I think just a little over a year ago, Bitmart, which is still is a big exchange, they got hacked, and lots of people lost their funds, lost their money. I don't know if anybody ever got reimbursed. The exchange itself said that people would get reimbursed. I kept actually searching for news stories, follow-up news stories, to see if people had received their funds back, but I was never able to find anything. All I could find was people complaining that they had not received their funds back. But everything was still in the works. So I'll see if I can keep following up on that. But anyways, so that's a problem. That is a potential problem with a centralized exchange, is that you can lose all your money on a centralized exchange if some, worst case scenario, it goes bankrupt or it gets hacked. And so that's why, like I say, I do store some funds on a centralized exchange, but I don't store very much. And for that reason, that if the exchange goes bankrupt, yes, I'll lose some money, but at least I won't keep my life savings on there. I won't lose everything. So it's just something to be careful of. And then also here you see I've mentioned in the lower left-hand corner, you see the word private keys. And so these are the keys that allow you access to your digital wallet. So if you store your cryptocurrency on a centralized exchange, you don't actually own or control the private keys to your wallet that's held on the centralized exchange. The exchange holds the keys, and the exchange allows you access to the wallet through their platform. And so the danger here is that they can potentially take away access to your wallet if they wanted to. Like, for example, again, if the exchange goes bankrupt. And sometimes another thing that happens historically, quite often, in fact, is that an exchange has an issue or a problem going on with their platform, and they will stop withdrawals or deposits into your wallet on their exchange. So there's limitations. There's limitations and there's pitfalls, but at the same time, there are some positive aspects to using a centralized exchange. So it's a trade-off. And then going back to decentralized exchanges, this is where decentralized exchanges become very advantageous. A decentralized exchange allows you to buy and sell cryptocurrency from your own decentralized wallet, where you own and you control the keys. So as long as you don't share the private keys to your wallet, nobody is able to gain access to your funds. And so also a decentralized exchange is completely autonomous. There's no central entity or authority that controls the exchange. It runs completely on its own. Anybody can add their own token to the platform and put it up for sale if you were interested in doing something like that. And the price of the token changes automatically up or down depending on whether or not people are buying and selling it. So it's almost like an exchange that runs on artificial intelligence, but in reality, it's just running on algorithms that automatically adjust and control everything. So you kind of want to think about it as sort of like a stock exchange that's run by computers and artificial intelligence instead of being run by people. All right, let's move to the next slide, which relates a little bit to the previous one. So now we get into the different kinds of wallets that are available out there. So again, as I mentioned on the last slide, there's two types of wallets. There are centralized wallets, and there are also decentralized wallets. So with a centralized wallet, your cryptocurrency is held on an exchange. It can potentially be vulnerable to a hack on the exchange, or if the exchange goes bankrupt. And there are also decentralized wallets, which you see here on the right-hand side of the screen. And here are some examples. You see we have MetaMask, which is the fox symbol on the screen. We have Trust Wallet, which is the shield symbol. And these are some of the biggest software wallets that are available on the market right now. And so you also have Ledger, which you see listed here, and Trezor, which are the biggest hardware wallets. And it's important to remember that a hardware wallet, although it is a physical device or a hardware device, it also requires a software wallet in order to interact with the device itself. So for example, I personally own a Ledger hardware wallet, and when I turn on the device and I connect the wallet to my computer, I will actually use MetaMask software, or the fox symbol here in the corner here, in order to interact with my hardware wallet. And so it's a very simple thing to set up if you want to set up a hardware wallet for the first time and interact with it. And it helps to keep your private keys safe from hackers. And therefore, it allows you to store your cryptocurrency a lot safer. And here, actually, I could show you guys real quick. Hopefully, my background kind of screws this up a little bit always. But I wanted to show you. This is, if you can see it here. I guess if I have it in front of my face, you can see it. But this is my Ledger hardware wallet, and I use this to store cryptocurrency. I don't use it to store all my cryptocurrency because it's a little bit slow. But people put their larger funds on a hardware wallet like this, and it's password protected. Like when I turn it on, I don't know if you can see it here, but you have to type in a PIN code in order to access it, and then from there you can make transactions and send digital currency from one location to the next. But the good thing about it is that I highly recommend that people get one of these, because they will keep your cryptocurrency much, much safer than it would otherwise be. And another thing I can show you real quick regarding the Ledger Nano that I have here. I also have the box that it came in. I don't know if you can see that, but okay, so you open up the box, and inside the box, there is these little sheets. And again, I know it's hard to see. I'm trying to get it into focus here, but it's really difficult. But it's a sheet of paper, and it has space to write down 24 words. And so the 24 words that you write down on this sheet are the 24-word seed phrase that goes to the hardware wallet itself. And so the important thing to remember with this is that the point of the hardware wallet is that, yes, it keeps your funds safe and secure. But let's say, for example, that I lost this hardware wallet. Let's say that somehow it got run over by a car. Let's say my house caught on fire and this thing burned up in the fire. Now, do I lose my cryptocurrency when this device is destroyed? The answer is actually no. You do not lose your money or your funds that's stored on the wallet. And the reason why you don't lose it is because of the 12 or the 24-word seed phrase that you write down on this card here. The seed phrase itself is actually your wallet. I know it's a little confusing. It's a little difficult to kind of wrap your head around, but the 12 or 24-word seed phrase is your wallet, because that is what is ultimately stored on the blockchain that records. It's part of the ledger that records all the transactions you've made, and it records that you have a certain amount of digital assets that you own on this particular device. And so let's say that this device that I have here were destroyed somehow. All I would have to do is buy a new one, and then I upload the 12 or 24-word seed phrase onto the new device, and then I have restored my wallet. And so that is one of the great things about this, because it will help to keep your digital assets very, very safe. And with the 12 or 24-word seed phrase, sometimes it's 12, sometimes it's 24, I keep multiple copies of the seed phrase, and I keep it stored in different locations that are very safe. Very secret, but very safe. But so I'll keep one, like for example, in a desk drawer somewhere that I know where I can access it. And then I'll keep another copy at a relative's house because again, if let's say somehow there was a fire at my house, the 12-word seed phrase got burned up, at least I know that I can still access the 12-word seed phrase at my relative's house, and I can restore the wallet and restore the funds that I would have otherwise lost. And so that's a good way to keep your digital assets safe and secure. Okay, and we could talk more about that later, but I've been talking again forever. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so if you haven't already done so, I think that, if I'm not mistaken, I think that people were instructed to do this ahead of time. We were hoping that people could download a SafePal wallet onto their phone. And so it's not too late to become a crypto millionaire. And this is one of the easiest steps that you can take towards becoming a cryptocurrency millionaire. So step one, go to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store and search for SafePal. SafePal is a great software wallet that you can use. There's other options also. Like I say, there's MetaMask, there's Trust Wallet, but one of the easier ones to use is SafePal. So I highly recommend that people download SafePal. Number two, create your SafePal software wallet on your phone. And then number three, you want to back up your software wallets using an app like Bitwarden. Or alternatively, like what I do, I write down the seed phrase on that piece of paper that I showed you. I make copies of it and I store it in different locations where it'll be safe. Because one of the things that you want to avoid is storing the seed phrase somewhere online that could potentially be very easily accessible to a hacker. Like, for example, I actually used to, when I first got started with cryptocurrency, I would write down the 12-word seed phrase, and then I would save it in a spreadsheet on my Google Drive. And then later on, I realized that that was a bad idea, because let's say that somehow or other, my Google Drive got hacked. I personally have had my Facebook account hacked. I don't know how. I think it's because Facebook has very lax security, or at least they used to. And so, if somebody's able to hack into my Facebook account, who's to say that that somebody can't somehow hack into my Google Drive account and find my 12-word seed phrase and then steal all my digital assets. And so, in my opinion, it's better to just write down your seed phrase on a piece of paper where it's not stored somewhere online where someone can potentially access it, because you always want to be thinking worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario. You want to be as safe as possible. Okay, and then of course the fourth step is to fund and store your digital assets using either a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange. All right, and so now for the next guess the word challenge. So this one, this one I think is a little bit easier than the other ones, but I don't know, how should we do this? Should we do, let's say this time we will do the fourth person to guess the word. And so you guys want to do it after, you're saying, or okay, let's move on then. So if you guys can guess the word, that we will send you 100 pesos worth of money sent to you via GCash. Okay. All right, let's see here. Let's move on to the next slide. Oh yeah. And okay, that's the answer. But anyways, all right. So now the next question is, how do you be safe when it comes to cryptocurrency? How do you protect your digital assets? And so again, here, when you first set up your cryptocurrency wallet for the very first time, you will be given three things. And the three things are listed here. You can see address, private key, and mnemonic phrase. So number one, a wallet address is something that you can share with people so that they know exactly where they can send funds to you. So a wallet address is okay to share with people. That's the important thing. The number 2 item on here, the private key, is another item that you will receive when you first set up your digital wallet. And this is something that you never, under any circumstances, you never want to share this with anybody. The private key allows direct access to the funds that are stored in your wallet, and therefore it has to be kept secret no matter what. And then the third item here is the mnemonic phrase, which we talked about earlier. The mnemonic phrase is a 12-word passphrase. Sometimes it's 24 words, depending, but it also allows direct access to your funds. So the thing you want to share is your address, and then the 2 items you don't want to share are the private key and the mnemonic phrase. And the private key and the mnemonic phrase are essentially the same thing. They just work a little bit differently. They just look a little bit different. But they both are the keys, the direct keys to open up your wallet and access the funds. So those are the important things to remember regarding that. All right, and so let's get into some of the important tips regarding cryptocurrency. So again, never share your mnemonic phrase or your private keys. We just went over that. Do not print screen your keys. Like I say, one thing I used to do a long time ago, I would print screen my keys, or I would write them down in my Google Drive, or sometimes I'd email them to myself. And this is oftentimes one of the ways that hackers are able to gain access to your digital funds. If they're able to access your email or your Google Drive, or let's say you store it in your Google Photos, and they can see the screenshot of your mnemonic phrase, and they immediately have access to all of your money. So, and then again, avoid clicking links that seem like they are too good to be true. In my experience, usually what I've seen scammers or hackers do is they want you to connect your wallet to their website so that they can gain access to your funds. And so don't ever connect your software or your hardware wallet to a website that seems fishy or suspicious. If you even have just the teeniest bit of suspicion about a website that you're about to connect to, don't connect to it. Even if it seems very lucrative, even if the website claims that they're going to send you $1 million, don't fall for that trap. It's 100% a scam every time. So be super careful as to what you are connecting your wallet to, because that is another access point that hackers and scammers have to access your funds. And then in the case of Axie Infinity, going back to the example of Axie Infinity, which we'll actually get into in a couple of minutes here again, their platform was hacked when a developer opened up a PDF file that a hacker had sent to them. And so that PDF file, once it was opened, it deployed some malicious software onto the developer's computer. And then from there, the hacker was able to gain access to all the funds that Axie Infinity had at the time. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, back up your 12-word seed phrase, don't lose it. In fact, what a lot of people do is they memorize the 12-word seed phrase. And you have to memorize the words in order. They cannot be out of order. But if you memorize it, that's a great way to keep them stored. You won't lose them. All right. So now it's also important to note that cryptocurrency hacks are a big problem. So going back again to the example of Axie Infinity, they had the biggest hack of all time. The absolute biggest hack in cryptocurrency history happened to Axie Infinity and their network. And again, why did it happen? It was because a hacker was able to gain access to the private keys to a developer's wallet. And that's why you have to be very careful. And I'll go over a few more steps that you can take to keep your digital funds secure. And this is the big number, $30 billion. $30 billion of cryptocurrency in today's value has been stolen so far from hackers and scammers. And so this is why it's so important to keep your digital assets secure and keep them safe. All right, so here's the basic evolution of money. Now, it's important to remember that people may have started out with, let's say, bartering for items. Then they moved on to precious metals like gold and silver, trading them back and forth. Then they may have evolved into trading coins and then paper money. And then later on, you have digital money appearing in the form of debit cards and credit cards. And on your mobile device, you might have online banking, or you might use Apple Pay or Google Pay. And now what you're seeing is digital money is entering a new phase where it's being moved from place to place through cryptocurrency. And so now the question is, how do you use this new system of cryptocurrency to easily move money from one place to another in a safe manner? And so this is where our startup company, AltSwitch, is working on creating a good solution to this exact problem. And as I mentioned, one of the best ways that you can keep your cryptocurrency safe from hackers is to store it on a digital device such as a hard wallet. And this is one of the products that we currently have in development at the moment. And so here is our unique solution that we'll be presenting to the market. And so on the next slide, since we are a startup company, I hope you don't mind, I'll show you one of our marketing videos that we have been using to help advertise one of our feature products, which is our hardware wallet for storing cryptocurrency. All right, and so here we go. Nice. All right. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching that. I think that's a pretty cool video. We're really proud to be able to put that out. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. And so,
Hey, Jimmy.
okay, now here's where our CEO, Carl, is going to take over. So thank you, Carl.
Yeah,
It's good
sure,
to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well, and good to see everyone in here, everyone who's watching on our live. I see that we already have a lot of audience. I hope we were able to provide a lot of value, and thank you, Nick, for that. Now, this time, I just want to take this opportunity, since we are all on the financial side of the industry. So we want to showcase as well on how AltSwitch are gonna be able to empower you, not just by knowing blockchain itself, but how could you actually use this probably for your business. Everyone here will want to start their own business and would want to have a presence on the blockchain. Well, we want to use the Caja to be your tool for that, because we want to empower you with the blockchain opportunity. So next slide. Earlier, probably you already found out about cryptocurrency, right? Right? Who already have in here a better understanding of crypto? Can you guys please type 1 just for me to see who are in our audience already? All right. All right. Okay, I can, and okay, good to see. I'm glad to see you guys have a better understanding of crypto. And probably if you earn the cryptocurrency, the first thing that you will feel, okay, I love it. I love it. I have now. But then the next question will be on the next slide. Probably this cryptocurrency is something that you grew already and made some money, good money. All right. Now, probably you realize that I now be able to buy this stuff for my food, for my gadgets, for gift, money, bills. Okay. Now, on the next slide is I have a cryptocurrency, but have you thought of this? How, right? Put yourself on the situation that you own a cryptocurrency right now. And how are you going to be spending it? Are you able to visualize exactly how are you going to pay this crypto? And by seeing on the next slide, this is probably one of the scenarios that all of the 4 million users or everyone in global are experiencing. We've already shared the cryptocurrency, soft wallets, MetaMask, and if you have your your cryptocurrency on those, you have to transfer them to another platform, which could be the centralized ones like Binance, Coins.ph, PDAX, if you heard of these names. Then after that, you still have to convert them onto peso. Probably the P2P, selling them. Then that's the only time that you're able to send them to your bank, to your e-wallet, GCash. And finally, that's the only time that you're able to use them to purchase the goodies that you want. So the question is this something that we wish to do over and over? How about, I mean, I'm not sure. To all our participants in here, going through all these steps, what's something that you will be able to describe this journey? Anyone from our audience? What do you think? Is it good? Is it convenient? Is it what do you guys think? Probably you'll feel hassle, because me personally, that's what I'm seeing myself. It's a bit of hassle that if I have to buy something, I have to go through so much steps before actually buying it, right? So on this reality, we'll see on the next slide. Despite the rapidly growing crypto market that was discussed by Nick earlier, we've seen 300 million users, 4 million users probably in the Philippines. And as a matter of fact, we are number 2 in crypto adoption based on the recent studies. Just imagine, Philippines out of all the countries in the world, right? And there's actually a huge absence on infrastructure for business owners, like anyone in here who probably are listening, to capitalize on the opportunity for cryptocurrency. Let me give you this kind of visualization. People are putting their money on cryptocurrency, and we can describe it like a huge dam, water dam. And this water dam is filling up. But there's no actual pipeline for anyone in here to actually reap those market, for them to able to cater, to bridge them, so that they can directly purchase on your goods, probably because that's where their money is. So on the next slide, this is what we're trying to look at. We want, of course, our goal to make everyone live a better experience, like seamless, more secured, with all the technological advancements, especially for the cryptocurrency. For the next slide, this is exactly what we want to happen. Since there are already a lot of crypto users that are growing, right? Continuously growing, and is expected to reach as billions of users probably at the end or at the early of next year. But what's for business owners? What we want to happen is we're able to build an infrastructure directly for business owners so that they could actually accept crypto as payments already. Since it's the value of money, that's why it's cryptocurrency, currency as a medium to transfer of value. So for the next slide, I would want you guys to have an idea on how we want this to happen for business owners. This is just a quick idea on how we see that we're able to contribute more to the ecosystem of business owners. Of course, by understanding everyone's needs, we design it in a way to prioritize the success of everyone in here. How? We're not going to be charging any upfront cost. So there's no zero, it's totally zero upfront cost. You don't have to put the money bago pa lang mag-set up. Okay? So it means no setup fee. We're not asking you as well to subscribe so that, of course, this is a known space for you, but it's promising. So for you able to confidently try this space, you don't have to spend on these things. Subscription, there's not even a convenience fee or conversion fee, I mean. So our point is we designed it in a way that we can continuously improve the app, the ecosystem, the solution in a way that we only earn only when we made you earn successfully. Like for example, because of our infrastructure, you can now accept payments crypto and somebody paid in crypto. And that's the only time that we only get a portion of not 3%, not 2%, only 1% of settlement fee. Unlike with, let's say, debit cards or any other infrastructure, or even Coinbase, a crypto payment platform as well, they are charging 2%. And 2%, it's actually 100% difference from 1%. So this is a huge difference. If you're paying, let's say, just for a settlement fee of 100 pesos or let's say 30 pesos on those platforms, well, we're only be charging half of it. That's how big the difference are for us to continually develop our product. And next, and what do you guys think about this solution? All right, sorry for this keyword fun quiz again, but based on the things that I just shared, is this something that you think that's gonna be helpful for, let's say, financial management or for your own business? What do you guys think? Can you please type one again so that I'll be able to see, just for me to have a review of. All right. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Anna. All right. Yep. Okay. Somebody's saying the answer already. All right. So this time, since you already found out, uh, about what cryptocurrency is. All right. There's also one thing that we want you guys to benefit about. This time, our prices will now be in cryptocurrency. You already have your soft wallet, you created it, okay? And we want you to utilize that already by giving you a reward on that. All right. So somebody who will be able to guess this key pictures, all right, I will turn over this to Nick. All right, Nick. And yep, we'll see the answer. Please keep it and wait for the go signal.
Yes. Okay, so let's let's see what number person should we do this time? Let's do number 5. So the 5th person to guess this word correctly will win 100 pesos worth of cryptocurrency. And so if you haven't already done so, if you set up a SafePal wallet on your phone, or if you have some sort of cryptocurrency wallet set up on your phone already, then we can send you 100 pesos worth of cryptocurrency. But wait for my go signal. And so on your marks, get set, go. All right.
Wow. We have a lot of, so this is something that the backend will be reviewing. Wow, a lot of answers. What's the answer, Nick?
Crypto. All right, nice. Yeah, people got that pretty quickly. All right, hold on. I'm just typing in the chat also. Okay, cool. Yeah, nice job, everyone. That was actually really good. I was impressed. People got that pretty quick. All right, let's move on. to the next slide here. Okay, 1 second here. So as you can see, there's some common mistakes when it comes to cryptocurrency. And we're almost done with these slides, just so everyone knows, just in case anybody is falling asleep or whatever. I just so you know, we're getting to the end here. But I think it's important to go over the common crypto mistakes that people make. So people oftentimes buy in just because the price is low. And I mentioned this on the previous presentation, is this is something to be particularly careful about, because, like, for example, some of you might have seen on the open market, on the open crypto market, there's a lot of tokens out there that they have like a supply of 1 quintillion, and they even have supplies that are much higher than that even. And it's important to remember that it might seem like a very, very high supply. And so the purpose of it is that, you know, there's like this saying in cryptocurrency, like, you're always trying to delete zeros, you know. So there's a quintillion supply of, let's say, I don't know, let's say Shiba Inu, even though that's not their supply. Let's say, for the sake of argument, Shiba Inu has a supply of 1 quintillion. So the price of purchasing 1 Shiba Inu will be something like 0.00000000000001 penny. And so it's like, oh, you know, okay, I can buy that for such an incredibly low price. Maybe so now I can buy, you know, a very large portion of the supply, just because this cryptocurrency is at such a low price. Now, the trap that people fall into that they don't realize is that you're just buying a piece of the pie. So you might be buying, you know, this astronomical supply of, let's say, 100 or 200 or 300 billion tokens of Shiba Inu. But the problem is that that 100 billion tokens is never going to reach what people think it's going to reach. A lot of people buy into it thinking that each one of those tokens is eventually going to become worth $1. But when the supply is so high, that's just absolutely impossible for that to happen. Because let's say that the supply, or let's say that the price of Shiba Inu with a quintillion supply ended up becoming worth $1 per token, then that would exceed the market cap of all of Bitcoin, all of the entire cryptocurrency market. It would exceed the entire market cap of the entire world's assets combined. You know, that's how impossible it would be for those tokens that you own to end up becoming worth $1 per token when the supply is that huge. And then another thing to keep in mind, which I think is really important, is that the supply of a token, in some regards, it's really meaningless. You really have to think about the nuts and bolts of how it all works, because a lot of it really is just marketing gimmicks. Like, for example, with Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken, I think Bitcoin has a supply that's going to be capped at 23 million tokens, or 23 million coins, sorry, I should say. And the problem with that is that it's important to remember that any cryptocurrency, it doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Shiba Inu, Solana, any cryptocurrency can be divided into as many fractions as you want. So Bitcoin, okay, yes, theoretically, it has a supply of 23 million tokens, but in reality, it also has a supply of 1 quintillion tokens, or coins, I should say, because the supply can be divided into as many fractions as you want. If you want to divide Bitcoin into 1 quintillion coins, you can do that. It just goes to show that the supply of Bitcoin itself is essentially unlimited, or it can be divided into just as many divisions as some of these other tokens or coins that you see on the market that have 1 quintillion as a supply. So it's I mean, it's really what it all boils down to is just what people are willing to pay for. If people are willing to put their money into Bitcoin, it's going to drive the price up. If people are willing to put their money into Shiba Inu or Ethereum, that's what's going to ultimately drive the price up. And so at the end of the day, the people who sort of kind of, I guess you could say that the people who do really well or the people who win out are the people who get in early and they're able to buy a large portion of the supply very early. So you got to think about it as like a pie. Like Bitcoin, if you think about Bitcoin as a pie, if you get a big slice of the pie, that will ensure that you will end up with a very large amount of money at the end because you own such an enormous supply or an enormous piece of that pie. It doesn't matter so much the amount you own, it matters the size of the pie that you own. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of a difficult concept to wrap your head around, but essentially what I'm getting at is that these tokens or these coins that have quintillion supplies, it's 100% a marketing gimmick. It's absolutely meaningless. Don't fall into those traps. So it's just something to be careful of. Yeah, and it's all theoretical also. All this stuff is very theoretical, and you could have many academic discussions regarding supply and demand of different tokens and coins out there. But all right, I spent too long on that. Also, but anyways, moving on to the next thing, you want to be careful about going all in because obviously you want to diversify your portfolio. You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. If you put all your money into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin theoretically, let's say somehow or other went to zero, its value went to zero, well, then you've lost all your money. And so it's very good to diversify your portfolio, buy a selection of coins or tokens that you think are going to do very well. It's also important to remember that the higher market cap tokens and coins that are out there on the market, those are the ones that tend to have a much more stable value. So like the top 50 or the top 100 cryptocurrencies, yes, they fluctuate a lot. Their value goes up and down quite a bit here and there, but their values are much more stable than a lot of these like fly-by-night tokens that just kind of appear on the market every day. Every day, I think there's something like, I forget the exact statistic, but it's like 100 or 200 cryptocurrency projects are launched on the internet every single day. And so those are the projects that really they're gambles, and I mean, yeah, I guess if you want to take a gamble on one of them, I mean, I'm not going to stop you, but it's important to remember that they are gambles and that you should not put all your eggs in one basket with them, even if they look very good projects, very lucrative. Just be careful with that sort of thing. It's much safer to go with larger market cap tokens or coins, in my opinion. And then other than that, don't think about cryptocurrency as easy money. It's just like purchasing into like the S&P 500 or stock exchange. It's the price fluctuates wildly. The price fluctuates rapidly. Even with Bitcoin, a lot of you know that we're in sort of like a bear market at the moment. There was actually a number of different countries that thought that they would amass massive supplies of Bitcoin into their reserves, thinking that they were going to prop up their economies just by purchasing into Bitcoin. And they did this for several years. And now you see we're in a bear market. And so these countries that have done this are now in severe financial turmoil because nobody could have predicted that Bitcoin was going to sink so low in value as it has so far. But that's also partially because Bitcoin has been tied to the rest of the global financial market for quite some time now. It didn't used to be, but now it is to a larger degree. And so as stocks and bonds, S&P 500, all these different investments are going down in value, Bitcoin is going down in value along with it. So yeah, it's not easy money. It's you know, it's something that you got to be careful with. And then yeah, quick one, forgetting your crypto key phrase. Don't lose your key phrase. We already went over that. Falling for scams, we also went over that fairly briefly. Don't fall into any sort of scams. Be careful about the links that you click on online. Don't download files that are suspicious. If you do have any sort of suspicion, just don't open the file. Yeah, okay, so let's go over some important tips when it comes to cryptocurrency. Do your research. There are some projects out there that are much better than others. You want to look if the project has a solid team behind it. You want to look especially if the team is doxed, which I'm not sure if you guys know what that word means, but doxed essentially means that the developers or the people behind the project, they show their face on camera. They have all their credentials stored with the launch platform that they had launched with when they first introduced their cryptocurrency. So like for our project with AltSwitch, when we launched our project on PinkSale, we gave our passports and all of our identifications to PinkSale. So therefore, theoretically, if something were to happen to our project, then PinkSale would release all of our identifications to the public so that if somebody wanted to sue us, they could do that. And PinkSale does do that. There have actually been some cryptocurrency projects that have come out, and it turned out that they did a rug pull, if you know what that is, or they stole everybody's assets after they launched the project. And the launch platform, PinkSale, will actually go ahead and publish the team. They will publish the team's identification, their passports, all their credentials, their addresses, everything. And that allows a level of safety and security because now the investors who have invested in that project can go ahead and sue the people behind that project. And so that's why I think it's very important to make sure that with a cryptocurrency project, the team is doxed, their identities are out there, they have their credentials with their launch platform like PinkSale or DXLock is another platform. And yeah, and just look at the background and the financial. You want to look at the roadmap for the project. You want to see if they're hitting their targets from month to month or quarter to quarter. You want to see if they're financially stable. So just look at all of the different aspects and all the finer details when it comes to these sorts of projects. And I already said, diversify your portfolio. It's very important, and nothing beats long term. So, like when it comes to Bitcoin, back in I think it was I forget the year exactly. I like to use the example of Bitcoin. So yeah, so back in 2010, there was a famous example that happened in 2010 where a person in Florida in the United States purchased 2 large pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. And even though the price of Bitcoin was very low at the time, that same Bitcoin would have been worth 191 US dollars today. So if that person had kept that 10,000 Bitcoin and did not spend it on 2 large pizzas, that person would now have $191 million. And keep in mind, Bitcoin is at its low point right now. You know, Bitcoin is trading for around $20,000 per coin. Just a few months ago, it was trading for $70,000 a coin. And so, yeah, you know, if that person had held onto their Bitcoin assets for the long term, like I say, nothing beats the long term. If you hold onto your Bitcoin for the long term, then potentially you could be a millionaire instead of ending up with 2 large pizzas that you had already eaten. So that's something to keep in mind, because there are other cryptocurrencies out there on the market that could potentially become the next Bitcoin. And so you don't want to just sell it away, give it away. Hold for the long term. It's a much better strategy. I know a lot of people like to just kind of trade cryptocurrencies just left and right, trade like crazy. But in my opinion, my strategy has always been to hold a cryptocurrency for the long term, because overall you will do much better that way, in my opinion. Especially if you select cryptocurrency projects that are have a very solid foundation to them. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. So at this point, we want to also give you a chance to win 500 pesos worth of cryptocurrency. And so all you have to do for this, actually we changed up the rules for this. This slide, we made this slide before we started this session, but what we wanted you to do instead, well, we do want you to do all of this. We want you to tweet your takeaway with our photo plus this hashtag AltSwitchImpact. But we also want to invite you onto our socials, and particularly our Discord community chat. So if you join our Discord community chat, we will do a spin the wheel live giveaway. And I think we'll be doing it, I want to say we're going to be doing it 12 hours from now. So all you have to do is just go to our Discord. We're going to post the link. I think we're going to post the link in the chat. Oh, yep. All you got to do is go to the Discord in our chat. Just jump into our Discord, say a few words, interact with the community, and then in approximately 12 hours, well, I guess since it's 11 o'clock now, it would be in about 10 hours from now, we will do a spin the wheel live giveaway, and you will have a chance to win 500 pesos worth of digital currency, and we will deposit that into your SafePal wallet or whichever software wallet you already have downloaded and installed. So that's something very exciting that we wanted to be able to do for everybody here. All right, and now we are on to our question and answer session. So if anybody has any questions, any comments, any concerns, this is your opportunity. And I think we're starting with our hosts, Sheeny and Sir Christian. I think maybe they wanted to start off with the questions here. So yeah, go ahead.
All right, thank you, Sir Nick and Sir Carl, for what you have shared to us. And well, I need a moment to take all that personally. And
Okay.
the topics are very informative, but it is so helpful to us because we have to have enough knowledge in the digital world, because this is something what we call as double-edged sword. It means it can be both advantage and disadvantage to us when we use it. But when I may call on Miss Chini to announce the winners we gathered, and you may begin, Miss Chini.
Okay, so Christian, the talk that we have this morning is very informative. Thank you, Sir Nick and Sir Carl. Okay, so let's do the quick recap of the 3 winners of 100 pesos GCash here in Zoom. The first winner is Chloe from Sibeya 701P. The second winner is Edison from Sibeya 703E. And the third winner is Aljo from P Sibeya 101P. Congratulations.
Our fourth winner is Miss Sinoy from Sibeya 22104A. Our fifth winner is Alessa of Okimia. Do I pronounce your name right? And we haven't identified her section yet. And the sixth winner will be last activity will happen inside the community or the Telegram or Discord, because it will gather first the entries from the Twitter. So that's the instruction for the last activity.
Yes.
All right.
All right, perfect. Yeah.
Now, we may now proceed to the key takeaways of the host first. So what are your key takeaways, Miss Chini?
Yes, Christian, there's a lot. But the most energized from everything, through the discussion, I realized that learning cryptocurrency is very important, because as what Sir Nick said, cryptocurrency is becoming the future of money. And also Sir Carl said that this is a currency, a money talaga. So we're really evolved in this time. So we must also adopt the changes that are happening to us. Kasi Christian, once we adopt the cryptocurrency, there are so many advantages to us as a user or blockchain user. For example, in remittance, when it comes to your transaction, it can be vastly cheaper, knowing that the fees are cheaper, but you can send money to different countries or other places quickly. See, diba? It's really amazing. And it's very beneficial because it happens in real time, like wow. And Christian, about the sample of the ledgers that Shernick showed to us a while ago, all the information that you need to know is there, and it is very detailed. But one thing that you will not see there is the name of all the users, because in blockchain they protect your privacy. So definitely it is very secure because your identity is anonymous. Also, in this discussion, this part is very important for everyone, which is how to be safe. Here, how do we protect our cryptocurrency once we try crypto? Okay, so Sir Nick said once we set our first crypto wallet, we will be given the three things. First, the wallet address. Second, the private key. This is something that you will never ever share with anyone because this key allows direct access to the funds within your wallet. So it must be kept secret at all times. And the last one is the mnemonic phrase. It is a 12-word passphrase. It also allows a direct access to your funds. Also, the important tips, one of the tips is to avoid clicking too good to be true links. I think we've all experienced these things where someone will send you a text and say you've won 500,000 pesos, like, oh really? and this is how they will hack your account or wallet once you click that link. So we must be aware because scammers are everywhere. That is why, Christian, the unique solution that AltSwitch introduced to us, which is the hard wallet or the alt wallet. It has a huge help for users to protect their crypto wallet even more, right? So yeah, that's it. That's my takeaways. Now it's your turn. How about you, Christian? What are your takeaways? I know there's a lot also.
Yes, definitely. As I mentioned earlier, especially in this in these times of digital age, then we all know that the pandemic also sped up the innovation across industries, both local and global matters. And one of these innovations that I'm talking about is the way we transact, specifically the financial transactions. Before, we have banks as financial intermediaries to connect people from financial services being offered by those financial institutions. And up until now, they truly exist. But for me, the only thing has changed is the financial transaction. The system itself of blockchain technology, it makes the transaction easily, efficiently, and safely. So meaning it is more convenient. And it is an eye-opener, not only to students, but to everyone as well, as it shows the transition from traditional way of saving and investing our hard-earned money to the new or innovative way of investing it. And when it comes to trading and investing also, since I am into trading and investing, I've been trading different financial markets for already 6 years. I have learned also in this forum that people should research first before they go or before they venture into cryptocurrency, because new investors, they tend to buy and invest based on their emotions and then justify it there with their logic. Like for example, people want to invest or they want to really venture in cryptocurrency just because the price is low, without knowing the charting, without knowing the fundamentals or the economic environment or the crypto. And then if they gonna invest, what probably happen next? The price of that particular crypto is it keeps dipping. And the new investor in the cryptocurrency is like, oh, cryptocurrencies are scam. This investment is not for me. So it really captured my insights that we have to research first. And second, we should diversify our asset. Don't just buy one cryptocurrency and then whatever may happen, then so be it. And just like in Tagalog, then bahala na si Batman, no, kung ano mangyari sa investment ko. And we really should have a good decision making when it comes to our investment, and good trading strategy also before we invest or venture into like in any investments. So that's my takeaways, Miss Jeannie. Thank you.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
oh yeah, you're fine.
Okay, so yes, I'm sure that our financialista also learned a lot today. I believe you guys have taken notes of important details that Sir Nick and Sir Carl discussed to us this morning. Okay, so now let's proceed to our Q&A portion. Financialista, you can now comment or chat your questions regarding to our discussion, but I'm the one who will ask first. This question personally came from me, sir. For you, what are the reasons for the popularity of cryptocurrencies?
So I would say that it mostly has to do with the ease of transaction, because, like, for example, if you're paying with a credit card, I'm kind of going back to the example I used before. You pay for something with a credit card, you know, there's a lot of fees associated with it. For the person who is selling you, like the cup of coffee that I mentioned, they have to pay the 3% fee to the credit card company. If you are putting it on a credit card, obviously, you know, there could be additional charges with that. And so I think that the benefits that people are finding out is that with cryptocurrency, the fees are so minimal that they're almost non-existent. You know, like I was using the example before, like Stellar Lumens is a great cryptocurrency to use if you're paying for something, or XRP, which is another popular one. It's a great one to use because the fees associated with it are so low, it's almost nothing. And so that's a very, very beneficial aspect to it. And people are catching on that you can send money back and forth to people for almost nothing. And you know, I've heard this, probably one of the most common criticisms, if not the most common criticism of cryptocurrency, is people say, oh, it's just fake money, it has no value. Well, think about it this way. If you were, let's say that you go to your bank and you have somebody that you know in, well, actually, yeah, let's say that I'm in the United States and I wanted to send Carl, our CEO, $1 million. Theoretically, hypothetically, I wanted to send him $1 million. The fees to send him that $1 million through my bank would be astronomical. It would probably cost me several hundred, if not several $1,000s to do that transaction. It would take a long time. There'd be a lot of paperwork involved, and nobody, I mean, and by the time that it got to him, it would take a very, very long time for the money to actually reach his bank account. But when it comes to cryptocurrency, let's say that I wanted to make that same transaction of $1 million and I wanted to send our CEO $1 million in Stellar Lumens or in XRP. I could do that same transaction of $1 million. He would receive that $1 million in less than a second, and it would cost a fraction of a penny. That's incredible. And that is what makes cryptocurrency extremely valuable. And even if I were going to send him a more popular cryptocurrency, let's say Bitcoin, which oftentimes people use to send large amounts of money to people, I could send that same $1 million to BitMax in Bitcoin, and the transaction fee, instead of it being less than a penny, it would maybe be $10. $10, but he would receive it in a few minutes, and he would receive it in Bitcoin, and he would be happy. And I wouldn't have to go through the whole hassle of using a bank. So again, that's another beneficial aspect of cryptocurrency. It's extremely valuable. It makes cryptocurrency a very, very valuable asset in our society, I believe. So yeah, I hope that answers the question. There's a lot of other reasons too, but but at least those are a couple of them.
All right, thank you so much, Sir Nick. And I agreed
Yeah.
on what you've said that cryptocurrency is being popular and being known also for it is decentralized. It is not reliant on any central banks nor government. So it is more convenient to use. It is easy to use and many people in across global countries can uh, reach it as well. And I think this
Yes.
question, this is something interesting, Sir Nick. Is it safe and sound to put a large amount of money in a digital wallet, even if it is powered by blockchain technology? Or do you think it is something to be scared of, Sir Nick?
That's a very good question. So one of the things that I highly recommend is, again, going back to the example of a hardware wallet. There's very, very little to worry about if you store your digital assets or your cryptocurrency on a hardware wallet. And the reason why is because, okay, so let's say you download a software wallet, for example, on your phone. Now, in my opinion, it's a good idea to only store a small amount of cryptocurrency on a software wallet because of the potential of it getting hacked for a multitude of reasons. It's safe, it's generally very safe, but it's less safe than storing your digital assets on a hardware wallet. And the reason why, and I'll get into the reason why. So the reason why is because software wallet, it's on your phone or it's on your computer. The digital keys or the mnemonic phrase, they're stored in your wallet, or they're stored in your mobile device. They're stored in your phone, or they're stored on your computer. So theoretically, if a hacker is able to gain access to your SafePal wallet or your MetaMask wallet on your phone or your computer, the keys are stored on that device. Now, when it comes to a hardware wallet also stores the keys to your crypto assets, but a hardware wallet doesn't communicate with the internet. You're not plugging it in constantly into your Ethernet ports. It's not connected to your Wi-Fi. So it's unplugged from everything. Generally speaking, it's unplugged from everything, from the internet. It's much more difficult for a hacker to access. And then the thing that makes it the most secure is that the keys that are stored on the device itself are never exposed to the internet, even when you're signing or when you're making transactions with it. Because what the device does is that it's not actually, when you sign a transaction or you make a transaction, it's not showing the keys to the blockchain. All it's doing is that it's confirming that you own the correct keys to make the transaction. And so therefore it creates a huge roadblock in the way of a hacker or a scammer to be able to obtain those digital keys that are stored on the device itself. So it's a whole nother level of security. It's extremely secure to keep your digital assets on a hardware wallet, as long as you yourself don't expose the mnemonic phrase yourself. Because obviously you could take the 12-word seed phrase to your hardware wallet and tell somebody what it is, but as long as you don't do that, you should be perfectly safe. Same thing with a software wallet. As long as you're not telling people your 12-word seed phrase or showing them your mnemonic phrase, you should be perfectly fine. And so software wallets are very safe, especially if you use the popular ones that are out there like MetaMask, Trust Wallet, SafePal, which we recommend people download. Those are good wallets to use. But when you get into storing large amounts of cryptocurrency, if you are not able to obtain a hardware wallet, at the bare minimum, at least spread your digital assets between different wallets. So download SafePal on one phone, download MetaMask on another phone. Maybe have half your assets on one device, then half your assets on another device. Maybe download another wallet onto a laptop computer. Now you have 3 wallets, so now you can spread out your funds between 3 different wallets. And the larger amounts of funds that you have, keep them on the device that is less connected to the internet than other devices and is not generally used for downloading files or opening files or anything like that. Because like I say, Axie Infinity, the biggest crypto hack of all time, it happened because a developer opened up what he thought was a PDF file. Even though the file extension itself said it was a PDF file, it was not a PDF file. And even his virus protection software did not catch it because, you know, obviously with virus protection, it's only updated to the known viruses that are out there in the world. And so if there's an unknown virus, like something that's hidden in what looks to be a PDF file, and you open it, your virus protection software is just not going to catch it. And so just be aware of these sorts of things. I think it's very important to be aware. So spread out your assets between different wallets. If you can, get your hands on a hardware wallet. The Ledger Nano that I have is a relatively expensive one. I mean, relatively in the grand scheme of things. There are some very cheap hardware wallets that are out there on the market that are still very, very good for storing your digital assets. So yeah, so there's if you can save up a few dollars and get a hardware wallet, and then you should be fine. But yeah, so I hope that answers the question.
All right.
Sorry,
Okay.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
All right. So definitely, I agree on what you said that hard wallet or hardware wallet is safer and better than
Yes.
software wallet because it truly minimize the possibility of hacking, that it prevents the hacking also of those hackers being reach your account. And I'll get one of your hardware wallets, sir, from your company.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Kay, for answering the other questions of our attendees in chat box. Okay, so sir, another question. Does the fundamental or the environment of the token affects the price movement of a crypto, like the fundamental analysis?
I'm not sure what do you mean by that. Like kind of like if you look at the kind of like the underlying aspects of the asset, like maybe the team behind it, like maybe the roadmap. Is that kind of like what you?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. Like I say, I think it's when you're looking at any sort of cryptocurrency project, you really don't want to gamble because like, oh man, like for example, every season this same sort of thing happens, comes around. So like, for example, well, I don't know, do you guys celebrate do you celebrate Halloween in the Philippines?
Yes, sir.
Like,
yes, sir. Definitely.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if it's just an American thing or what, but anyway, so like Halloween is a big thing here in the US. And so now when you go onto some of the decentralized exchanges, there's a lot of different tokens that are now up for sale that are you know, based around the theme of whatever holiday it is. So there will be like a Christmas Inu token, or like the latest one I saw is a Halloween Inu token, or you know, they're almost always based on like a dog type of a token as like a, you know, what they call a meme token. And those sorts of tokens, yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to, you know, go ahead and throw some money at it, just don't put all your eggs in one basket, obviously. But I think it's a good idea to generally stay away from tokens like that, because they are really just, for the most part, just gambling. You know, those are just pump and dump sort of projects that are out there on the market, and they're just looking to build up a huge amount of hype because a certain holiday is on the way, and so they'll build up a lot of hype, increase their market cap substantially, and then oftentimes what happens is the developers behind the project, they own most of the supply of a token, and so they end up just dumping on the market. and cashing out everything. That happens so often, it's ridiculous. And so that's gambling. That's essentially gambling when it comes to this sort of thing. Yeah, you can make some money. You can make some good money gambling on these sorts of projects, but it's not the sort of thing that I like to do. I stay away from that whole concept of meme type tokens. And so I think it's better to look at the fundamentals of a project. Do they have a good team? Are they developing products that are useful? There's a lot of projects that are out there right now that are actually developing their own blockchains. Sometimes they start out with a token, and then later on they want to actually develop a blockchain that they can really build and expand upon. And is it going to be something that's like useful long term? And so these are the sorts of things I think it's important to look at. And you can usually look at the nuts and bolts and all the intricacies of a project by going to their white paper and taking a look at it. And so some of the red flags to look out for, if the white paper is just filled with spelling errors, you don't see the team, you don't see the pictures of the team anywhere, you don't see that the team has provided their credentials or their identification to any platform, that's a red flag. What else? I mean, there's a whole laundry list of things to look out for. You want to look for projects that are solid, that are there for the long term, and if anything does happen to the project, that they have somewhat of a backup plan so that investors aren't taken advantage of. Here in the United States, actually, it's the law that you cannot, I don't know how to describe this exactly, but you cannot put up for sale you can't put something on the market like a cryptocurrency or like some sort of an investment without you can't put it up on the market without the investor expecting some sort of a return on their investment. So if you claim that your cryptocurrency is going to increase in value, then an investor can actually potentially sue you if your cryptocurrency does not increase in value. So the United States is very, 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 very strict about this sort of stuff. And the reason why is because there's so many scammers out there that, they want to put a cryptocurrency on the market, or they want to provide an investment on the market, whether it's cryptocurrency or something else. And they give all sorts of colorful promises that it's going to do 100x of the person's investment, and in reality there's nothing behind the project except empty promises, and the investors lose all their money. Those investors in the US can actually sue to get their money back, and it happens all the time also. So I think it's a good law to have on the books also, because it makes sure that investors are not taken advantage of and they are not lied to. So yeah, I think that's some of the important stuff to remember with this with cryptocurrency.
All right, sir.
But,
The lessons we've learned in what you've said is that you should know the stories first, or the fundamentals, no, or the projects of those cryptocurrencies, and then do not just buy cryptocurrency just because they are hype, or they are
yes,
famous,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
nor they are when it comes to price, they are low. So it's all
Yes.
about the stories of the fundamentals. And another question, Sir Nick.
Yes.
It's all about Bitcoin. It's all about cryptocurrency. This question, we all know that the Bitcoin and the other majority of cryptocurrency started being downtrend since March 2022.
Oh yes.
And what are your insights to the price movement of Bitcoin for the upcoming months to years? Do you have any predictions?
Let me look right now. I see Bitcoin took a little bit of a dump this last, I think in like the last day or so. But what was interesting is that I mentioned this earlier, not during this session, but earlier today. But so CZ Binance, he's the CEO of Binance and their exchange platform, and he put out a tweet recently that he was saying something along the lines of that it was interesting that within the last few days, Bitcoin, people noticed that Bitcoin had suddenly seemed to decouple from the rest of the financial market. And so, as a lot of you know, financial markets all around the world are crashing. They're doing very poorly. Even like different currencies for different countries are doing quite poorly at the moment. But Bitcoin, all of a sudden, for some strange reason, the last few days, seemed to suddenly start going up when all the rest of the markets are going down. And so that is kind of like that's kind of like the overall speculation that like the diehard Bitcoin fans that are out there, the people who really truly believe in the technology and are like, I don't know, maybe I don't know if the right word is obsessed with it, but you know, something like that. They truly believe that Bitcoin will replace all this financial stuff that's going on, the whole financial system. Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency market will replace all of that. And it's because, you know, as Satoshi Nakamoto had pointed out back in 2009 with the Genesis block, the banks were being bailed out at the time. And that was like a worldwide phenomenon. That was happening here in the US, it's happening in London, it was happening everywhere. Banks were being bailed out. And this is a very dangerous thing because okay, so the banks are being bailed out, but what about the rest of you know, just like regular retail trade investors? What about like the working people that are just, you know, working in the grocery store or you know, food delivery or whatever, you know, the people that are doing all the work? How do they benefit from this bailout? You know, the financial system is in crisis, but the only people who are really getting bailed out or benefiting from the policies that are being put in place are the banks. And the crazy thing about it is that the banks are the people, or they are the entities that actually created the financial crisis in the first place. So while the regular people are hurting, they have no money. It's kind of I don't know if the word is ironic, but it's not good that the people that created the problem are the ones that are, you know, for lack of a better term, they're getting rewarded for what has happened. And so it's kind of like, you know, eventually maybe it's possible that Bitcoin will be the thing that, you know, the next time that there is a financial crisis, the next time that the banks are collapsing, you know, that sort of a thing, maybe they won't get bailed out. And instead of them being bailed out, people will realize that the money in their countries or the money in these economic systems they're not working for them. They're working against them, because instead of the money being, you know, being helpful to the everyday person, it's actually only being helpful to the big banks and the big institutions. And so people might end up turning away from these traditional financial institutions and putting their money into something that's safe, like Bitcoin or other digital assets. And I mean, again, it's all theory, it's all speculation. Nobody knows if that's what's going to happen. It seems like that was kind of like the thought process behind what Satoshi Nakamoto was trying to do, is that the everyday person would be able to protect their money by putting it into digital assets and digital currencies, rather than relying on a financial system that does not really work for them, especially when the financial system is in turmoil or in chaos. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts on that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if I'm right at all, but that's kind of I guess the gist of it, so to speak. So yeah.
All right, thank you, Sir Nick, and I agree on your key takeaways that you mentioned earlier, that those financial markets and major banks across borders are still down today. Namely, the stock market the cryptocurrency market, forex market, are still down today, it is mainly because of the global crisis. And one of
Yes,
the
exactly.
crises
Yeah.
is the economic status of America, that whatever they decides, we cannot deny the fact that it will inevitably affect the economic status also of the other countries as well.
Yes.
Thus, it will affect also the businesses and the investing ventures in every countries. And but in the context of Bitcoin, as you mentioned, that it has the lowest supply in the cryptocurrency market.
Yes.
And I think personally, I believe that Bitcoin is still the future because it has something to do with the market capitalization. It
Mhm.
has
Yes.
number one, it has the largest market capitalization in the whole cryptocurrency market. And I think Bitcoin, and this is the right time to study the market timing and the behavior of the investors and trader. So thank you, Sir Nick. Thank you, Sir Nick.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Sir Christian.
All right,
Yeah.
so
And
I just want
yeah.
to highlight, this is for appreciation to you, Sir Nick. This is from a comment from Jesus Perdigon. He said that I've learned a lot in this webinar. He learned a lot from you, sir.
Oh,
When
okay.
it comes to digital currency, that this is inevitable. We are getting into cashless environment, and this is happening already, like GCash, credit card, and etc. But in the sense of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, it is more innovative way of transactions, and it is more convenient and safe to transact. So thank you so much for your appreciation and your comment, Mr. Jesus Perdigon. And he is
Yes.
actually
Thank
my
you.
dad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank
Your
you.
PA,
Yeah.
Miss Jeannie.
Okay, now so we formally proceed to the awarding of the certificate to the speaker. And where is this? Okay. Okay, awarding of certificate to speaker. Certificate of Appreciation. This certificate is proudly presented to Mr. Nick Zazonia for his participation during the webinar entitled The Empowering Edge of Learning Cryptocurrency for Financial Management Students at Rizal Technological University, given the stated day of October year 2022, signed by instructor Milka C. De La Fuente and Dr. Leonila C. Crisostoma. Okay, sir, we request you to smile. The
Well,
picture
thank you.
taking.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Okay, so first and foremost, I would like to express my appreciation to our guest speaker, Mr. Nicolas, and to the CEO of AltSwitch and all the AltSwitch team, okay, for your effort and time, and to the new department head of financial management department, Professor Milka C. De La Fuente, to the webinar committees, tech team, Facebook team. Thank you for trusting and allowing us to be your host in this today's event. It's been an honor. Also, we want to give credits to Himig Rizalia for providing us a video of Doxology, National Anthem, and RTU Hymn.
On behalf of Rizal Technological University Financial Management Department, we would like to express our sincerest thanks to our guest speakers, Mr. Nicolas Ledsonia and Mr. Carl, the CEO of AltSwitch, and for sharing your expertise, Misters, in the line of blockchain technology. And we are looking forward working with you, sir, in the near future. Thank you so much.
Also, we want to remind our fellow ka-financialista, make sure that you've registered or answered the link that we provide, the attendance form, so that we can provide you the e-certificate and we will send that to your email. Okay, so we've reached the end of today's presentation. It's really hard to say goodbye, but don't you worry, this isn't the last, right, Christian?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, maybe one day we will host at another event. Okay, so again, I am China Ilabong.
And I am Christian J. Alsena. And I just want to end with this quote, guys. Being conservative makes us safe, but we lose the chance rather if we do not take any risk. So that's all. God bless and have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Hi,
All right,
in
thank
behalf
you.
of the technical team, may we request everyone to kindly open their cameras for the picture taking po. Thank you. Ayan. Okay po. So lahat po ng kaya makapag-open cam, mag-open cam na po. Ayan. So there are two slides. Okay. So first part po. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Second slide po. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay na po. Thank you so much po. Thank you so much, Sir Nick and AltSwitch. Thank you po.
Thank you po, AltSwitch. Thank you, Sir Nick.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.